Hello YouTube, newsletter, and survival group subscribers. This is Terrell from Terrell03.com. Today is May 18th, 2017. This is the short report for Volume 20. Seismic, volcanic, and magnetic North Pole migration indicators say Earth is at the peak of the first Earth change uptick period of 2017 Earth orbit cycle. Black star is positioned according to the data, and it's going to be a little farther right in the solar system than I suspected. I suspected that it was already moving into the left side. That's going to turn out not to be the case. And the primary binary star magnetic repulsion model is back in the saddle, which it was always 75%, but it's looking even stronger than that right now. The magnetic North Pole migration modeling, the inferior modeling, is just that. It turned out to be the inferior model. The geomagnetic storm activity is picking up. The moon has already swung out of Earth magnetosphere, so we're not going to see a false magnetopause reversal. I was concerned that was going to happen as the moon was passing through. It was just passing through Earth magnetosphere at a key time. When I'm watching it every day, watching magnetosphere, just watching for the reversal. And we had a little compression, but it really didn't happen. Let's get back over here and look at the a little more of the seismic data before I show you the map. So we're following 2015 pretty closely, and last year was a big time anomaly. We had already reached the peak in week 12, and we had already began the sharp decline with no sixes coming right in week 13. That was very unusual. What we should be seeing is 5, 6, or 7. That's what we're seeing this year, and it's going to be likely that one of these events is going to be our near-side alignment quake event. It's going to be a big, it's going to be one of those big sixes. And there's not enough data to know for sure, but this 13 line right here is likely going to become yellow in the next 2 weeks to come. But we're going to keep watching, and we're going to watch for these seismic values to decrease. We're going to see if we're going to get a bounce, or if we're going to get a decrease. My suspicion is that we're going to see a decrease moving forward. But we've almost 400 of the 2.54 magnitude earthquakes last week, down to about 250 this week. But at the same time, the 5 magnitude earthquakes jumped to the highest value that we've seen this year. And with these 5, this is going to the high water mark. I mean, it's not very high, but the explanation is going to pertain to Jupiter right here. It's moving 30 degrees per year this way. The black star is slowed down from 12 degrees. It's less than 12 degrees. And with the 2015 and 16 data from the near-side alignment quake events, that was only 3 degrees. That was only a 3-degree move left in the orbit diagram. It's out there moving very, very slowly according to the data. And put some more of this information together. My suspicion about Jupiter and Saturn being in the same quadrant, they're siphoning off a lion's share of the black star redirected electromagnetism. So it's producing these lower values. We had 6 new volcanic eruptions, and the focus is going to be, you can see magma plume arm number 2. That's represented by Guatemala, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. So when you look at the earthquake data, then this is kind of your hot spot right here in Central America. The we had 2 tall stacks of flags here just a few weeks ago. They are declining. And a little more proliferation in what was the Baja California quake swarm area. It's now the U.S., Canada, West Coast. It's trying to widen. And if you're following the research, the average depth at the Oklahoma quake swarm area was 14 kilometers just about a month ago. That's diminishing. Everything is coming closer and closer to the surface now. You're getting a little bit of proliferation here too that's wanting to give us an indication of pressures shifting out here east of that area. Another anomaly, for the last couple of years we've seen a tall stack of flags right here just about every week. That's diminishing too. Just about the time they said they're expecting an eruption out in this area, This because things are changing over here, then there's just not a whole bunch of activity right there. Another anomaly that we're looking at, there's only one deep earthquake, 550 kilometers. It's in the Earth Mantle Transition Zone. We've been having about 4 or 5 in this cluster right here by Fiji, up in this area, and just having one means there's less expansion in the Earth Mantle Transition Zone where this explosion took place deep down. It expands the glassy type magma, adds energy to the magma plume formation, and especially during the uptick period, we've been having a half a dozen, even more than a half a dozen of those. Not this week, not last week either. We only had one last week. So that has me scratching my head and wondering how the expanding magma plume formation, how that, now it's a larger mass and fewer of these types of earthquakes deep in the Earth Mantle Transition Zone, of how that's going to affect the seismic environment moving forward. So it appears that the gap in here in Cascadia is trying to narrow between the clusters, between what's going on up here and how this area is shifting north into Cascadia. So it's gradually, you can see it's gradually moving in that direction. This is going to be a watch area right here. We're still looking for that linchpin quake event that's going to change everything over here. So in the final analysis, the Earth is expanding due to, if you remember, all the big giant activity we had on the backside of the sun coming around 2016 cycle. Big expansion of the magma plume. And what that does, as Earth diameter, as it grows, is the circumference around the Earth is growing ever so slightly, then it is creating additional space between the tectonic plates. So eventually, if this scenario continues, Earth mantle expands, the fault lines, the pressures just simply cannot build up in between the tectonic plates. That means the values in the seismic chart turn red, not because they're going larger, but because they're getting smaller. And the deal is, before the pressure can build up to give us a large magnitude quake, the pressure is released because of the slipping that's going on. So that's kind of the general pattern that we're looking at here. It's very deceptive. Makes you believe that the black star's already crossed, it's already leaving out of the inner solar system. That is not the case. This is going to put people to sleep. They're going to think that things are getting better whenever they are, like Jupiter, siphoning off the electromagnetism. That seems to be a good sign. That gives us less of the Earth changes. Why this scenario is taking place. But the black star is getting closer, even though it appears to be getting closer more slowly. The magnetic repulsion relationship it has with the sun is causing that. Jupiter siphoning off the electromagnetism. But what this means is, for 90% of the global population, earthquake values, the weekly values and the magnitudes, will be decreased. But what that means, areas like Cascadia that are locked, they're going to become more flexible. And that gives us the opportunity for the big one, the really, really big one, to strike right in this area right here. There's a lot of concern about that for a good reason. Since the entire global environment is changing, again, making it better for people in a lot of areas, but not better for people where these tectonic plates are really locked together and trying to loosen, to release pressure that's been building up for, in some cases, tens of thousands of years, right in this area right here. And that's this 3-degree differential. This is turning out to be a 10-minute report. This 3-degree differential is what I've been looking for. It substantiates the binary star magnetic repulsion modeling that's pointing towards 2018. And with the black star slowing down, then it's going to take a little bit of time. Weeks have to pass. I'm going to have to go back and review the data to figure out which, without a magnetopause reversal, that's the way it works. That's the way it was for 2013, 14, and 15 without having the magnetopause reversal event. So that's the short report. and I'll get onto that longer report. There's information about the Mystery Explained book, but I'll get into all that stuff in the long report. Go to Terralo3.com for more info. Inferior modeling is just that. It turned out to be the inferior model. The geomagnetic storm activity is picking up. The moon has already swung out of Earth magnetosphere, so we're not going to see a false magnetopause reversal. I was concerned that was going to happen as the moon was passing through. It was just passing through Earth magnetosphere at a key time. When I'm watching it every day, watching magnetosphere, just watching for the reversal, and we had a little compression, but it really didn't happen. Let's get back over here and look at the little more of the seismic data before I show you the map. Hello YouTube, newsletter, and survival group subscribers. This is Terrell from Terralo3.com. Today is May 18th, 2017. This is the short report for Volume 20. Seismic, volcanic, and magnetic North Pole migration indicators say Earth is at the peak of the first Earth change uptick period of the 2017 Earth orbit cycle. Black star is positioned according to the data, and it's going to be a little farther right in the solar system than I suspected. I suspected that it was already moving into the left side. That's going to turn out not to be the case. And the primary binary star magnetic repulsion model is back in the saddle, which it was always 75%, but it's looking even stronger than that right now. The magnetic North Pole migration modeling, the inferior